It is Wednesday, April 11th, 2012, and you're tuned into iCannabis Radio and the Edson Report with your host, me, Warren Edson, and our producer today, Kristen Custer. Today we're going to discuss the Telluride County Commissioner meeting that recently took place. We'll give you an update on the Massachusetts public hearings we've been following this week, as well as give you a positive report on the status of medical marijuana in New Hampshire, another issue we've been following this week. So let's just get this show rolling here, Chris. To begin with, we're going to talk about Telluride. Now, there was a meeting on April 4th of the San Miguel County Commissioners, and they were generally discussing tightening the reins on the medical marijuana industry in San Miguel County. And it's really kind of a different story because generally county commissioners are positive and support the medical marijuana industry. And they made that the public aware of that over and over and over again. Their concern is that as other counties ban the medical marijuana businesses, that their county will get flooded with those businesses and it will overwhelm their county's infrastructure. Mainly, they don't have enough cops, police, and clerks and inspectors to deal with this. So they're taking it slow and trying to figure out where to go with this. There's also some concern about out-of-county ownership, particularly of the MMCs, meaning the retail side of the business. The harsh reality of that is counties don't get as much tax income from the grows as they do from the retail, so they kind of want the retail there as well. There's some potential of the county requiring the grows to be linked with an in-county MMC. Please stay tuned to iCannabis Radio for more details about that. We'll remind you that the next meeting is May 9th. And during that meeting, the County Commission will either approve the Planning Department's recommendations, amend the recommendations, or reject the recommendations. We'd like to thank the Telluride Daily Planet for the latest updates on that as well. Now, as we previously discussed, all sorts of medical marijuana stuff going on in Massachusetts, and yesterday the state legislators weighed public arguments for a proposed ballot petition. Again, we've been reporting on this story all week, so it would be kind of brief, but there was a large turnout in support of this bill, and much of the discussion on the part of the legislators, at least, unfortunately, centered around more controls. But I want to emphasize there was a large public turnout and there's a large number of patients who came out in support of this bill. And this petition is likely headed to the ballot on November 6th. We urge our Massachusetts residents that might listen to this or anybody who has friends in Massachusetts, go get registered to vote. Do it sooner rather than later so you can vote November 6th. And if it passed on November 6th, it would go into effect on January 2013, allowing up to 35 dispensaries with at least one in each county in Massachusetts. Now, in this story, we'd like to thank the Daily Hampshire Gazette for the latest updates. Again, New Hampshire coming to us here. And finally, we've been also following the story in New Hampshire, where of all places, they've been talking about medical marijuana. It's specifically Senate Bill 409, which would allow New Hampshire medical marijuana patients to possess up to 6 ounces, 4 plants, and 12 seedlings. That amazingly passed through the New Hampshire Senate last month and was heard by the House Human Health, Human Services, and Elderly Affairs Committee. That's a long one. Leave it to New Hampshire. On Tuesday. Now, as reported by the New Hampshire Union Leader, the newspaper I read every day growing up, in making a case for the bill, it sponsored Senator Jim Forsyth, a Republican from Stratford. Yes, you heard me right. A Republican from Stratford pointed to his own clean-cut background, explaining that he's a former Air Force pilot who has never used marijuana. Quote, "This is about trying to get patients the help they need," end quote, he said. Nice job, Senator. Good quote. And what may be a positive development for the bill, and again, as we reported yesterday and in fact earlier this week, New Hampshire's governor, Governor Lynch, was indicating that he would veto this sucker no matter what. But what was in a positive development, Senator Forsyth told the panel that he had met with Governor Lynch last week and that he was going to look the bill over. And another quote from Senator Forsyth, "We are more than willing to work with him if he's willing to work with us." Again, that's as reported by the very conservative newspaper, the New Hampshire Union Leader. Unlike Massachusetts, unfortunately, patients did not turn out yesterday. We urge our patients in Massachusetts, or excuse me, in New Hampshire, again, patients in New Hampshire that might be listening, or any listeners who know of patients in New Hampshire or general supporters of medical marijuana, this bill was sent to a subcommittee which is expected to take it up next Tuesday. So please let your New Hampshire folks know it will be taken up next Tuesday. Stay tuned to iCannabis Radio for updates on that in case that hearing changes, but get in touch with your New Hampshire politicians to let them know you support this, because this is right on the cusp of maybe happening in New Hampshire. So that's it for today, and we'd like to thank you for tuning into the Edson Report on iCannabis Radio. Remind you that tonight is the Thunderdome with Scott and Crunchy. Tune in for all the chaos, and I'm sure a good recipe. And I'm not being sarcastic there. I sincerely mean a good recipe. Crunchy is truly amazing. Join us tomorrow for the Edson Report, where we'll see if there's any new news. And we want to remind you that the Edson Report is sponsored by absolutely no one and will continue to be. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, heck, contact me at warrenedson@hotmail.com, or feel free to go through www.icannabisradio.com. Lower right-hand side there's a thing that says Contact Us. You can fill in all sorts of stuff, get on our mailing list, send us a big, long question if you want. We even answered one last week. You never know. So thanks again. At this point, I will turn it over to my friend Will Daly, Singer-Songwriter of the Year in Boston a couple years ago. Figuring we're talking about Mass, we might as well go to a local boy. And we won't even get into the state of the Red Sox. But please take it away, Chris. Thanks.
I got a broken heart I had to have removed and placed in a jar. And every night when I turn out the lights, I hear it go boom, 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 boom. I got a worried mind. I should have drugged all lobotomized for all the times when I think too much. I hit the ground with a boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Star-toned hearts, lost before I got a chance to start. I remember the sound of you like a rush. Left a taste that lingered for too long. I will wait for the magic. And now since you've been gone, I don't use my lungs, I never lose my breath. It's the same cold one since the day that you left. An echo of boom, 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 boom. Star-toned hearts couldn't keep a hold on in the start. I believe in the sound of us like a rush. Still looking for the one I've lost. I will wait for the magic. No matter where you are, I whisper to the moon, hoping you'll get the call. And all the sounds that cry out in the night, I hear you